Hey guys, Lizardlea here for 4 Heavenly Beasts, day 49. Here is my progress from day 48. So we're getting there slowly but surely. I just realized I'm going to be doing a bunch of dark colors and I painted my nails black. I don't know if that's going to make it better or worse, but it's probably going to make it worse. I didn't think this through. It was the first time I've painted my nails in forever, and I wanted to do a dark color, and I thought this was a dark blue, but it's black, and it's called Midnight Galaxy, so I should have read the name and been like, Midnight, that's gonna be black, not dark blue. But it's like sparkly-ish, kind of. It's shiny, like. I'm gonna go cross-stitch now.
Alright, so David isn't joining today, and I'm extra upset about it because this is the 10 hours of footage video. Like, it's so much. I did it at like 9 or 10 times the speed, and it's still over an hour. It's so long! David and I have a bunch of stuff to talk about at this point. We're on the 4th season of Disenchantment. Haven't finished it yet, but I'm assuming by the next video we will have. We watched What If, which I really liked the first episode of. And then it was kind of... none of the other episodes were as good as that one until the end. I mean, they were all good, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely enjoyed the show, and if you like Marvel, I highly recommend it. But, yeah, that first one was very strong. And the following ones were not that good. We're just, like, if that first episode was a 10 out of 10, everything after it was either a 9 or lower. So, not necessarily a bad thing, I remember, especially in high school, writing papers, they'd be like, you either want to begin with the most most interesting thing for your paper so that, you really draw in your reader, or you leave it for the very end so that you end on your strongest point. And I don't know, I never decided definitively on one, like, oh, I always want it to be at the start, or I always want it to be at the end. But I don't know, like, I walked away from What If feeling kind of disappointed, just because I was like, wow, like, it did, like, a U, essentially, where that first episode was really good, the last episodes were really good, but the middle just was not as good. So it was just kind of disappointing. Like, I wish they had done a little bit more with the other episodes. And I'm getting too much into this because David's not here. I'm sorry. What else have we watched, though? I think we talked about Django, Terry Pratchett's book. That's the last one I read. Or is it? Or is this the one where I finished it in? You know what? Yeah, this... Right now, my cross-stitching, I was listening to Jingo, or I think it's Jingo. Django? Jenga. I'm pretty sure it's Jingo. That's the book I was listening to while I was stitching this. I started it when I started cross-stitching, and I finished it before I finished cross-stitching. So, it's a long audiobook, and I got even more footage. So, woo. What else have we watched? Have we talked about Critical Role yet? Because we finished Critical Role. I'm very excited for the next season. Like, I watched all of Campaign 1, so of course I was going to like it. Especially because they got all the original players to do their voices. And they got Matt in to do a couple. I wish he had done more, but whatever. I'm really excited for it to continue, though. So, and honestly, I would say if you like fantasy and comedy, and it does have a couple scenes that are like I kind of stared at the screen like, really? This is what we're doing? Like, there was a lot of butts and poop humor that just, wasn't doing it for me. But otherwise, ignoring those moments, if you like fantasy and you like animated shows, I recommend it. I think it's really fun. My favorite character is Keyleth, and she was still my favorite character even now on the show. She was my favorite from watching them play on YouTube and watching the show on Amazon, which makes sense. She was very much the moral center of the group, which is kind of weird. You'd think that would be Pike because she was the cleric, but no. It also doesn't help that Ashley Johnson had to leave a lot. She played Pike because of other work, so she wasn't there. But she made a couple choices that, like, I don't think a good cleric should do. Have we watched anything else recently that we need to discuss? I don't think so. I know David is on Mark of Athena for Rick Riordan's book series for Percy Jackson. So he's on book 8 of 10, right? So next will be House of Hades and then the finale, and it's over. I think I have that right. He still whines that, you know, there are so many moments where people will be like, oh yeah, I need to tell you this, and then they get interrupted, or they come out later and they're like, oh yeah, I should have told you this sooner. And I'm always like, yes, but it's for middle schoolers, you know, like, this is for just kids. Oh, that's Devoted. I'm gonna put him on speaker. Let's see how this goes. Hello, handsome man.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing the narration on the 10-hour video.
I'm sorry I'm not there.
You better be. I'm recording this, so they're gonna know.
They're gonna know that I'm not there?
They're gonna know that you're sorry you're not here.
I see. Is that a good thing?
I don't know. It'll make me feel better, and then the people that want you there will get you for, like, 30 seconds. Is there anything you'd like to add? Yeah, there you go, an Easter egg. Alright, I'm gonna stop the recording now. Okay, I'm back. I got to talk to my Devoted. Oh. And now there's a spam call. What the heck? No. Hello? And then they didn't answer. That's annoying. Or it's one of those things that it doesn't connect until after it hears a voice. I generally just say, no thank you, and hang up on them. So, woo! Sorry, I keep looking over at my phone just waiting for another call. Ay, ay, ay. Like, I like talking to David on the phone. I don't really like talking to most, like, anybody else on the phone. I have such really bad hearing. And at this point, I've been living with David for over 4 years. He knows how bad my hearing is. We make a big joke out of it, and it's not a big deal. If he has to repeat himself 5 times or text me what he's saying, we do that. But there are other people where I'm just like, all right, he's probably angry with me. I'm just going to pretend to know what he's talking about and hope that it's not important later. Like, I have such bad hearing. And it's not like it's on purpose or anything. I listen. I just hear everything wrong. Okay. I think I have rambled on enough. I have a bunch of questions. Hopefully there are enough to fill up, an hour-long video. Oh my god, my throat already hurts. Just from knowing how long I'm gonna have to be talking. Okay, so I did the worm thing. 8. What is something that characters do in movies that annoys you the most? It's always when someone's talking on the phone and they're just like, they just hang up. They don't say bye or I love you or I'll see you soon. They're just like, they answer the phone and you don't hear the other end. So they're just like, oh, okay. And then they hang up. And then they turn to the other person and they're like, we gotta go. Not gonna lie, I'm rewatching Buffy, and there was an episode where Willow picked up the phone. It was the one where she and Oz were frisky for the first time, and she leaned over, picked it up, and was like, "We gotta go." And I was just like, that's what, people don't talk like that. Like, if Giles had been on the other side and he'd said, "You need to get to the library right now," normal person would say, "Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Bye." You don't just say okay and hang up on someone unless they're saying bye. But there was not enough time for the person on the other end to say bye or see you soon or anything. So I hate when characters do that. Like, it's so rude, and it's just, that's not how people talk. Like, I can deal with the characters always saying exactly what they want and not stuttering. I'm fine with that, because there actually are people who do speak very eloquently, and they don't stutter and take a while to think about what they're trying to say, or, have to pause. That's fine. I don't know a single person who every single phone conversation they have is just a quick little 2 seconds of someone else talking, you saying okay, and you hanging up. Like, that is not proper phone etiquette, man. Because, like, my thing is, I remember back, especially when I was younger, people could hang up and you wouldn't know it at first. And so, like, this was the start of cell phones, I want to say, actually, because I remember, or at least in my memory, when we all had landlines, as soon as the person would hang up, not only would you hear it click because it was a physical phone and you had to put it back on the receiver, the line would go dead, and it would beep at you, like that. So the other person isn't there and just, like, dropped the phone or something. But now, there's no noise. You push a button to hang up your phone, so there's no click for that. And then it's just silence. So unless you pull your phone back and look at it, there's no guarantee you can tell if someone has hung up on you or not. And I just, Let's see, what else do characters do in movies that annoy me? Man, no, that is, like, the main thing. It's just the phone stuff. It drives me bonkers. I will say, like, again, talking about Buffy, but there are other shows that do it. When you have somebody who's not a great driver, but, like, you get distracted by something, so you're like, okay, just take the keys and go. Like, I don't have time for this. Joyce in Band Candy, when she becomes a lot younger, at least this is understandable. Buffy, up to this point, does not have her license, and to the point that she has failed the written, they will not even let her do the actual drive attempt with an instructor. And so, Joyce, having eaten this candy and reverting back to her high school self, just lets Buffy drive away. And of course, Buffy gets in a major car accident because Buffy can't drive. But in other shows, that'll happen, where the parents are just too busy and they'll let their kid take a car, or, a motorcycle, like anything that, has a high mortality rate. I understand that, you're busy. But most good parents in the real world would be like, no, we're either getting you a taxi or someone else is driving you because you cannot drive. And not only do I not want you to die in this car accident, I'm not paying for the insurance and the accident and everything that comes with it because you can't drive. But still, it's mostly the phone thing. 9. Would you shave your head for $100? No, I would not. Even when I just have my bangs pulled back, my forehead is so big, I think I look terrible. I can't even imagine how bad I would look if my forehead continued. I don't think that is a look I can pull off. I have seen plenty of women that look amazing bald. I don't think I'm one of them. And for only $100? Heck no. 100,000, yeah. I can afford a wig for that. Or just, I can afford to stay home until some more hair grows back and I don't look terrible. Although, I don't know, maybe I'll be surprised and I actually look really good without hair, but I don't know, I got made fun of for my forehead growing up, and so maybe that's where some of my self-consciousness comes from with that, but no, $100, not worth it. I wouldn't even shave an eyebrow for $100, and I can hide my eyebrows under my bangs, alright? Just saying. 10. What is your go-to song to serenade someone with? Well, the only person I've tried to serenade is David. And I feel like one of the popular ones is Still Into You by Paramore. Yeah, I think that's the right one. I also really like, gosh, is it Ariana Grande? I have to look it up now, because off the top of my head, I'm not sure. Or maybe Still Into You is Ariana Grande, and there's a different title for the Paramore song, and I'm just crazy. Okay, no, Still Into You is Paramore. Do I have the Ariana Grande song in here? I feel like I should. Oh, Into You. Okay, so Still Into You and Into You. I really like both of those. If they come on, I will absolutely sing them to David. I remember the first one that I really tried to kind of just, essentially serenade him with. So most of the time, this is when we're listening to my music in my car, because he doesn't have very, romancy type songs on his, so it doesn't quite work. But the first one I remember was, oh my gosh, You're the Inspiration. You're the meaning in my life. You're the inspiration. You bring feeling to my life. You're the inspiration. Which I want to say is Chicago, but I'm going to Google it so that I'm not a liar in case I'm wrong. You're the as I type everything wrong, but Google figures... Oh, it is Chicago. Yeah. So, he obviously didn't know the song and didn't realize that I was, singing it to him. He was just, hearing that I was singing words. He interrupted me, and he kept talking. And I was like, what the heck, DJ? I'm trying to sing to you. Shut up! He probably doesn't even remember. At that point, I was like, okay, no, I'm done. You keep talking. I can be a brat. It's whatever. It's a really good song, though. If you grew up with 80s music, I'm sure you know that one. Oh, heck, actually, it could be older than that. I grew up with 80s songs because that's what my parents did. Okay, let's see when it came out. Come on, Google, don't let me down. I guess I need to actually type in Chicago because it looks like there are a lot of songs that are titled You're the Inspiration. Is there a Wikipedia page? Anything? There we go. Okay. October 29th, 1984. I was right. 80s. Although I guess I should say if you liked a particular genre in the 80s, because just because you listen to the music from the 80s doesn't mean you heard every single song from the 80s. I don't know. If you haven't heard the song, I recommend it. I like it. You don't have to love it. You don't even have to finish it if you don't like it. It's not a problem. I won't judge you, I promise. David didn't listen to the whole song and I still love him. Okay, 11. What is the sneakiest thing you ever did as a child? Okay. I have to be honest. I'm not 100% sure at this point if this is a memory or if it's a dream. So it could have been that I was this hellion, and it also could have been that I dreamed I was a hellion, or some kind of mixture of in between. I'm not sure. We were at someone else's house, and I was young, I'm talking maybe kindergarten, maybe first grade, maybe even younger, like just really young. And everybody left. I was the only one there. I was in the living room. I want to say I was trying to like pet their cat or something. I remember nothing other than what I did. So I don't know whose place it was. I don't know if we ever went back. I don't remember it. Which, if it's real, it makes sense they didn't want me back because of what I did. But there was no TV, there was no games, there was nothing for me to do. But I was given some Oreos. And to this day, I like the cream filling of Oreos more than any other part of it. Like, if I could just eat the filling by the spoonful and not have the crackers, I would be happy. I would be happier than if you actually gave me an Oreo. So I would pull the 2 crackers off, I would lick off the icing, and I hid the other parts of the cookies around the living room. Like, behind the couch and behind a cabinet, and it just, oh my god, I really hope I didn't actually do that, because if I did, the only time they would have found those stinking things is either, like, if they started to smell, which I feel like Oreos are probably so manufactured that, they're probably gonna go stale, but they'll probably still keep their shape and not go moldy for a very long time. Or they found them when it started to attract a bunch of ants. And as someone who just hates ants and things like that, and, being dirty and gross, I am just so angry with myself if that was real. Like, oh man, I'm a terrible person. But I will say, I was a tiny, tiny child. No one was entertaining me. No one was having fun with me. Everybody was ignoring me. They were in a different room of the house, or even, like upstairs, where, like, even if I wanted to talk to them, I wouldn't have been able to scream so they'd hear me. I don't know. They left me alone, all right? And this is what babies do. So remember, if you go to a brand new house with your kids, give them something to do, especially in this day and age. You can give them a little tablet and they'll just be on that. Don't give them something that they can hide in a stranger's house that will attract ants or cause other kinds of problems. Just don't. So yeah, if that was real, I think it was the sneakiest thing I ever did, because I don't remember my parents ever telling me I did it, or, learning about it. So, I don't know. I'm a terrible person, though. Don't do that. 12. What is the wittiest comeback you ever came up with? Every once in a while, I do have a really good comeback, but they are far and few between for me, just because, like, I'm one of those people, generally, that I think of a good comeback 3 days later. Like when I'm in the shower and I'm just contemplating everything I've done wrong with my life, that's when I will come up with a good comeback. But I have had some. None of them are coming to mind right now. But honestly, I want to say the majority of my comebacks that are good tend to be kind of mean, especially because they're within my friend group, and we all tease each other, like, we'll say mean and nasty things, but we're not saying it to actually be mean and hurt the person. We're doing it to try and make them laugh, kind of like make light of the situation so it's not so painful, if that makes sense. I know some people, like, teasing just does not work for them. Teasing works great with me. That is how I was raised with my family. We all tease each other. So As long as it's not genuinely is misspirited the word I'm looking for? I guess. As long as it's not genuinely trying to be hurtful, I think they're great. Because I will say there is a difference between, like, if somebody's just like, whoa, what happened to your hair? And, whoa, what happened to your hair? Like, that second one sounds a lot meaner, and it just feels hurtful, you know? Versus, like, teasing you, like, wow, you've got bedhead, what happened to your hair? You know, it's you're still teasing the person. You're still drawing attention to the fact that their hair looks crazy, but you're not saying it in such a mean, judgmental way. Again, I don't know if that makes sense. This is just how I grew up. But yeah, I can't think of a particular one. So, yeah, we're just gonna move on. 13. What is the most bizarre dream you have ever had? I know or at least I'm pretty sure I told it on this channel before. I had a dream where my whole family, we were all on skateboards. You know, like our butts were sitting on the skateboards and we were using our feet to pull ourselves along. And I don't know if it was my whole family or if it was just like my mom and my brother and I, or any kind of combination. I don't know. This was, you know, like over a decade ago. I want to say it was like elementary school, maybe even, so it would have been even longer. Anyways, I remember we were just skating along with our butts on the skateboards, not our feet. So I guess we're not skating along. That's not the right word, but they were skateboards, so I don't know what else to say. When suddenly this alligator came up behind us. And I ended up going, like, you know, if there was a fork in the road, I went to the left and it went uphill, and everybody else in my family went to the right and it went downhill. So, of course, the alligator followed me because I went the more difficult, slower way, so it was going to be able to catch me easier. And eventually it did catch me, and it bit my leg. And I remember waking up with a cramp in my leg. So, you know, I initially woke up like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, an alligator bit my leg. I'm going to lose my leg. I'm going to bleed to death. It's going to be terrible. And eventually I realized, no, I was asleep. I'm awake. That, you know, this was just my body's reaction to getting a cramp in my leg and forcing me awake from the pain. And at the time, I did not know how to handle a cramp in my calf. I have since learned you don't want to curl up in a ball, which is what I would always do. You want to make your knee as straight as possible. You don't want to bend your knee. And you want to have your foot flat. Like if you were standing, basically, you'd want it to be flat. So it's perpendicular to your leg. You know, if you're laying down, you want your toes pointing to the ceiling. And then you actually want to try and pull your toes towards your face. So you want to make it a smaller angle than 90 degrees. Because that forces your leg muscles to stretch out, which is the opposite of what the cramp is doing. The cramp is trying to contract those muscles, and it's pulling them really tight. When you stretch out your leg like that and pull your toes towards your face, you are forcing the muscle to relax and lengthen and stretch out. And for me, it only takes like maybe 10 to 15 seconds for the cramp to go away. And it feels infinitely less painful when you have your leg stretched out like that and your foot pulled back. Because I remember for years, I would just curl up and I'd try and massage it, and it was so freaking painful. I think I read on the internet somewhere that, you know, straighten your knee, point your toes at your face if you can. And ever since then, like, my initial reaction is always just doing that, because it doesn't hurt the way that curling up into a ball does. Like, I don't know. I don't think I ever would have learned to do that on my own. Because when you're, or at least for me, when I'm getting a cramp in my calf like that, I just want to pull my leg closer to me. I don't know if it's just, I think that that's what's going to make me feel better or what, but that's what I'd always done, and it's just so painful. Ugh. Let's see. So that dream was bizarre. Another bizarre one I had was we were all like quasi scuba diving. You know, like we had on masks that covered our eyes, and I think we had a breathing device that covered our mouth but not our noses, I want to say. And we were going through this cave, and it got really dark and it got really scary. And I want to say it was like a big tour, so there were a ton of people. But my little brother, and at the time in this dream and in real life at the time, he was much smaller than me. You know, like this was when I could still pick him up. He's taller than me now. I couldn't pick him up if I tried, I bet you. He wandered off, and he went down this corridor that had kind of like Poor Unfortunate Souls with Ursula's lair, where, you know, she had all of the, what, I don't even know, what did she turn them into? Anemones? No, that, I don't even think that's a word, but just like big, they look like seaweed, I guess, but I don't think that's what they were. But that's what it looked like, that was all over the floors, the walls, and the ceiling. So those kinds of things completely encapsulated this cave or section that my brother went down. And, you know, I tried catching up to him just to try and pull him back to get him out, because I was like, this is not safe. We're away from everybody else. This is not good. And I don't know if I had this fear prior or if I got this fear from this dream. I am super nervous about things going into my ears. Like, touching my earlobe is fine. Touching the top part of my ear where my piercing is fine. But if somebody else comes over and tries touching the inside of my ear at all, or where the, I don't know what it's called, that flap that kind of covers up your ear hole, your ear canal, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I don't even like when David touches my ear there. And, you know, I love him, but I just like, it makes me super uncomfortable. And to the point where I'm sleeping, if I like lay on one side, I have to pull my hair to cover my ear, because just like the fan air bothers me. It makes me nervous. I don't like the idea of things crawling into my ears. And these things were detaching from the walls and trying to climb into or crawl into our ears and our noses, and it just, oh my God. I remember, you know, my dream, we got out and we were okay, but like, that was a no-no for me. So I'm just saying, if anybody ever comes up and like tries to touch my ear, I might punch you. Like, ooh. And I've gotten an ear infection as an adult, and those things are freaking painful. Like, oi, I don't want that again. And if what it takes is stopping people from touching my ears like a creeper, I will do it in whatever way is necessary. Just remembering that dream is making me uncomfortable. We're moving on now. I'm sorry. 14. What sitcom scenario would you most like to see play out in real life? What is a sitcom scenario? I don't... Like, the first thing that popped up into my head was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when Will was saying, you know, his dad had just ditched him. He was like, yeah, you know, I gotta go, you have to stay. And so Will's just like, you know, why doesn't he love me? And Uncle Phil comes over and hugs him, and I'm gonna start crying because that scene breaks me every single time. I don't want to see that. Well, I mean, feel like that was almost as real to life as you can get, because, like, I believed every moment of that. Will and Uncle Phil, those two actors, like, I know Will Smith is actually named Will Smith. I don't know what Uncle Phil's real name was. I'm pretty sure he's passed away, though. Uncle Phil. I'm sure if I type in Uncle Phil, it'll pop up, right? It's got to. There's no way somebody else has popularized that name enough to not be the first one, or for him to not be the first one. Yes, James Avery. Or, oh wait, maybe he didn't pass away. Am I crazy? Oh no, he did. Yeah, he passed away in 2013. Oh, at least he was 68. Oh, but it was complications to open heart surgery. Oh, that's scary. I'm sorry, I took that to a bad place. Sitcom scenario. I need to understand. 17 things that happen on every sitcom? There will be a nosy neighbor. Oh, I hate that. I don't like those at all. There's probably an annoying younger sibling. I'm one of those, so It's a flashback episode. Ooh, wait. Could a flashback happen in real life because it's a sitcom scenario? Because totally flashbacks all the way. That would be really cool. Like, yeah, okay, you can't change anything, but you get to relive it. Especially if it's like a good moment, that'd be great. If it was an embarrassing moment, no thank you. There will be a new addition, like a baby. That's fine. Mom plays an important role. Oh, 100%. My mommy's very important to me. There's a not so typical matchup. Oh, yeah, the whole differences attract and all that. Opposites attract. I knew I said that wrong. I'm stupid. There's an oddball friend. Well, of course. Cute pet shows up when needed. Oh, absolutely. Always need more cute pets. There's one main hangout spot. Physical comedy is inevitable. This is true. There's a rebel. Always. Someone gets married, of course. Yeah, I want that to play out in real life. I've been to, let's see, my sisters, David's dad, and Norman and Robert. So I've been to 4 weddings. And I liked each of them. So, yeah. There's a true friendship. Oh, of course, everybody wants a true friendship to happen in real life. The characters deal with death. Oh, I don't like that one. 15, there will be a breakup. I don't like that one either. 16, someone ends up in jail. No, thank you. There are cameos. Oh my gosh, if we could have cameos by, like, actual famous people in real life, in just those cute little ways that happen in sitcoms, where it's just, you know, like, oh yeah, I'll sign your little napkin. Here you go, bye. And it's wholesome. I love that. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jaded. I've read too much about how mean some famous people are in real life that I'm kind of just like, do I want to meet them? Everybody always says you don't want to meet your idols. Although every time I've seen anything, I've never heard anything bad about Sandra Bullock. And she's still my favorite actress. So, I think I'm good. If I meet her, I might pass out. Like, she's spectacular. 15. Which person in your life is most likely to secretly be a time traveler? Well, I bet David would say me, just because he thinks I'm a Russian alien mutant spy or something. I don't even remember what he says at this point. He's been saying it for like 4 years and I still continue to say it wrong. Okay, but who's most likely to be a time traveler in my life? Honestly, I kind of want to say either like my friend Jessica or Rachel from high school, just because they really had an attachment to the older kind of dress style, which I know doesn't really indicate anything. They both looked gorgeous in the dresses they would wear, but just because it would make me think of an older time, I think that works, because then it's like, you know, oh yeah, their comfort dresses are the ones they grew up in because they're time travelers. 16, what would be the most awkward moment to cackle like a hyena? At a funeral. That'd be really awkward. Or a wedding. That'd also be really awkward. I'm very awkward to begin with, but I don't think I'm going to break out into a hyena laughter at some point. 17. Who would be the most awkward person to accidentally say, I love you to? It's always awkward when you say it to a teacher. I think I said it to my first grade teacher, and I was so embarrassed. I don't think I've ever said it again. But I also don't think anybody heard me other than the teacher, so I'm not sure what I was that embarrassed about. Because normally, you know, like in movies and shows, it always happens in front of the whole class and everybody hears and makes fun of the person. I'm pretty sure I just said it to her, like, at the front of the line. She said to keep the line going, and I said, okay, love you. And I don't think anybody paid attention or even heard, so it doesn't matter. But, you know, still embarrassing. Who else would it be embarrassing to say it to? I mean, I guess a coworker or a boss. That would be embarrassing. Unless you actually meant it. Because, like, I have some coworkers that I 100% said I love you, and I 100% meant it. And there is no embarrassment there. Like, Holka, my best friend, who I love so much, she means the world to me. I say I love you to her all the time. And I've never been embarrassed about it. It's never been awkward. I'm pretty sure I would say it to people when I was still their manager at Michael's. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I love you. Because it's just like, I'm not saying it like you're my parent. I'm saying it because, we're friends. I mean, I don't know, maybe it was awkward for the people I didn't say it to if they heard me say it to others, but, you gotta be a better worker, I guess. I'm a terrible person, I'm sorry. 18. What would be the most uncomfortable movie to watch with your parents? Full disclosure, I have seen some really messed up movies, and I will 100% not watch them with my parents, but I also don't want to scar anyone by mentioning some of the terrible movies I've seen here. Like, I don't even want people Googling them. That's how, no, they are. So, just know that they're bad. Let me Google this question and see if any of the ones I'm thinking of are, in a top 5 list. Most uncomfortable movies to watch with your parents. As Google fixes it for me. Let's see. Eyes Wide Shut. I've seen it. I don't want to watch it again. And yeah, there are scenes where I don't want to watch it with my parents. American Pie. I feel like I saw that in theaters and my parents were there, and 1999. So I was really young, I'm sure. I'm starting to think I did not see it in theaters. I probably saw it on TV and my parents were there, and even a few years later, I was still very young. I'm sure there was a lot I didn't understand, so it doesn't matter. Basic Instinct. Haven't seen, but I know exactly what scene they're talking about. But so looking at these, Secretary, 50 Shades of Grey, Brokeback Mountain, 9.5 weeks. I don't know 9.5 weeks, actually. But, the next one on the list was one I was thinking. But I will continue my train of thought from before. A lot of these just have, 1 or 2 scenes where it's yeah, I don't want to be in the room when my parents are here. But, if you take out the scenes where people get naked from Eyes Wide Shut, yeah, I'd watch that with my parents. Whatever. What else about it is uncomfortable? Nothing. It's just the scenes when people don't have their clothes on. And even then, the opening has Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. And I think you see Nicole Kidman topless, but they don't actually, do anything. So that's not that bad. But there are scenes later where there are a lot of people naked. That would be uncomfortable. So, 8. And I'm telling you guys, I promise you, you do not want to look up this movie unless you like gross, disgusting things. All right? I am telling you now, if your kid is listening, skip ahead a few seconds and just don't even let them hear the title of this movie. It is The Human Centipede. So yeah, if you know what that's about, no, you absolutely do not want to be there with your parents when you see that movie. You don't really want to watch it with anybody. It's gross. So yeah, that is more along the lines of the movies I was thinking of for not watching with my family. I love the Saw movies. I'd watch them with my family. I don't know. I guess it's just not as bad as other movies. So, yeah. But those aren't the kind of movies my parents would want to watch anyways. So it doesn't matter. You know? I'm good. But yeah, like, Eyes Wide Shut is the most uncomfortable. Like, is this a voted on thing? It's on IMDb's website. Oh, no, I think it's just this guy chose movies. Oof, yeah, that one. Magic Mike? Really? Yeah, like they're strippers or whatever, but they don't get completely naked, so it's not that bad. Ah, the list I'm on, number 24. I haven't seen this movie, but I know what happens in it. Please don't, you guys. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. Just don't do it. I can't believe they only ranked that as number 24. That is, from my understanding and the reviews I've seen, one of the most disgusting, disturbing movies of all time. And it's number 24. Wow. Okay, we're going to move on now. 19. What is the most ridiculous outfit you have ever worn in public? An outfit I wore for Wacky Tacky Day in high school. I just grabbed a bunch of random crap and I just put it on. Like, I had a blanket. I tied it around my leg like it was an ascot or something, or a scarf. Like, I looked super wacky. It was absolutely ridiculous. I got points. 20. Which movie monster would you have the easiest time beating in a fight? Jaws? You just don't go in the ocean. Woo! Okay, but if I'm literally in a fight, I feel like it'd be like the Leprechaun or something. I think that was the one that Jennifer Aniston was in. Just because, like, I could kick him in the face. I don't know if there are any other movie monsters I could even, like, hope to take on, honestly. Let's see. Movie monsters. I don't know these ones. I'm just going to do images. Let's see what comes up for that. Ah, King Kong. Godzilla. The Queen Alien from Alien. Oh my god. No, I would die. Oh my god. The guy with the eyeballs on his hands from Pan's Labyrinth. Nope. Honestly, I have seen that scene, and I know how it goes. I know the little girl is fine. I know nothing happens to her. I still get so anxious during that scene where she's running from him, and she, like, what is it? She trips, and then she gets the chalk, and she's able to draw a door, and she gets through it, you know, at the last possible second. It gets my heart racing so bad. Even though I know she's okay, I still freak out like she's going to die. And I think part of it is that he's really, 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 really scary looking. Yeah, I would not have an easy time beating him, because just looking at him would make me freak out and pee my pants. Like, oof, no chance for me there. 21. Have you ever cheated at a board game? Obviously. I was a kid once. Are you kidding me? I'm sure I still cheated at a couple into adulthood. It's just at this point, I don't care. Like, I would rather have fun playing the game than winning. So cheating takes the fun out of it for me, kind of. So I cheat at one-player games. You know, like I'll do codes and look things up. But if I'm playing a game with other people, I don't want to cheat. I don't want to beat them that way. That's just, it's not fun to me. 22. If you were a ghost, who would you haunt? I mean, okay, so like, I don't want to haunt someone I love because that's just going to hurt them more. I don't want to do that. And then, if I'm dead, I don't want to be around the people I dislike any more than I was when I was alive. So I don't want to haunt anybody. I just want to move on to the afterlife and have a happy afterlife. 23. If you were forcefully granted the Midas Touch with one object of your choosing, which object would things turn into when you touched them? Okay, so the Midas Touch is you touch something and it turns to gold. So, I don't want that power. I really don't, because like honestly, I cross stitch with both hands. If everything I touched turned into something else, it would be a problem. Like, you know, I'm touching the needle and it turns into thread now. Great, you know, I can touch my thread, but I can't I can't stitch anymore. Like, no. Like, unless I turn something into money, you know, like $100 bill, that'd be cool. Maybe I could I could commission like a glove made out of $100 bills so that I could at least wear the glove and still do things. And then, you know, anytime I need money, boom. You know, and then I'd eventually have enough money that I could just start giving it to homeless people and making a difference in the world and making donations. I mean, it's gonna mess up parts of the world where, well, no, if I only use it for myself and good things, it's not gonna be world ending, is it? Oh God. I mean, I guess the second someone finds out I have this power, I am going to be either experimented on or thrown in a dungeon and made to touch all kinds of things, and I'm good. I'm good. Man, these questions are weird. And then I make them weirder. 24. You have to pull off a museum heist. What's your plan? Sending in someone else to scout the place, and if possible, bring in like a camera, and then my team and I will go in, having never been there ourselves, only seen videos and stuff. You know, we'll plan out where we're going, and we'll plan out what we're stealing. We'll get it and we'll go. I have no idea. I'm not a thief. I'm not good at this. Can I just watch Ocean's 11 again? I've watched it plenty of times. I will happily watch it again. I like it. And the sequels. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. I didn't see the one with all women just because, like, I felt like it was pandering to me, and I don't appreciate that. Like, really, we need to have an all-female cast? Like, that it was my same reaction with Ghostbusters. Like, why does it have to be all women? You know, it's also kind of like, why does it have to be all men? Why can't we mix it up? You know, like, whatever. Moving on. 25. Which mythological creature would be the worst roommate? I feel like a sphinx would be a bad roommate because it would constantly be giving you riddles. And if you don't know the answers, it would just be very frustrating. I feel like a dragon would actually be potentially a great roommate. I think it would mostly depend on what they hoard. So, like, if they hoard books, that's awesome. If they hoard dead bugs, that's gonna be terrible and disgusting. Bleh. If they hoard threads, Could I use them for my cross-stitching? Because that would be awesome. The Loch Ness Monster would probably be really terrible because my room would be flooded, and I don't like the thought of that. I'm running out of things. 26. What would you say to convince a loved one that you are not an alien imposter? Oh my god. David, did you write this freaking questionnaire? I 100% believe he is watching this video at some point. I mean, I'm not, so I would just say, I'm not an alien. But I would only say that if they accuse me of being an alien. If they never accuse me of being an alien, I'm never going to bring it up because I'm not an alien. Oh my god. 27. How do we know you are not a robot? I bleed and I bruise way too easily. Like, I feel like well, I mean, I've never had a broken bone, so maybe that's actually not a good indication. I don't know. But I don't know. Like, I don't think our robots are so technologically advanced right now that they bleed. Are they that good? I don't think they're that good. So you just know because I make mistakes when I cross-stitch. There we go. There we go. That's a good answer, right? Like, if we have a robot that's good enough to actually look like a person, at that point, when we're that good, they're not going to make this many mistakes, right? Because seriously, I bet you money I've already made a mistake in this video. If at any point I had to pull one of my stitches out, boom, there you go. And I mean, it doesn't even have to be a big mistake. It could just be like me realizing, oh no, this isn't the ideal spot to start from this row on. I want to start from here instead. I still think that's enough to say I'm not a robot, because robots process so quickly that they already know the ideal route. It's already planned. Yeah. I am so weird. 28. What is the most terrible movie you legitimately enjoy? I mean, the rest of the world doesn't think Prince of Persia is a great movie, but I do. I don't think it's a terrible movie at all. I think The Room is a terrible movie, but I don't enjoy it. So I can't say that one. Do I actually enjoy any movies that I genuinely think are terrible? Like, I don't... This is my issue, is like, I don't generally care what the majority of society thinks. Like, if they don't like Prince of Persia, whoop-de-doo, that's not going to change my opinion. Like, I know the majority of people don't like Nickelback. They are one of my favorite bands of all time, and they have been since I was in, God, middle school, if not elementary school. Like, ever since they started making music, I've been a fan, and I really like them. I don't think they're terrible. I love, oh my God, Kroger. What is his first name? Chad. I love Chad Kroger's voice. Oh my God, am I saying his name right? Is it like Chad Kroeger? I don't know. The lead singer of Nickelback. I'm pretty sure it's Chad. Chad Kroeger. Kroeger. So I guess it could be Kroger? I don't know. It doesn't say how to pronounce it on his Wikipedia page. Oh, wait. Krueger. Oh my God, is it really pronounced like Krueger? Like Freddy Krueger? Oh, I like him even more now, you guys. This is just more in his favor. So, where was I going with that? Yeah, okay. Just because other people dislike something does not make me think, oh yeah, this is terrible, but I still enjoy it. No, I don't think that. I still enjoy the thing, and I still like it because I think it's good. Like, I don't know. I know people say things, you know, like, oh, that dog is so ugly, it's cute. And I'm just like, no, I think the dog is just ugly. Aw, no. You know, oh, The Room is so dumb and stupid that it's fun. Like, yeah, it has its moments. It's very quotable. But it's a terrible movie. I didn't like it the first time, and I don't want to watch it again. Like, I guess I enjoyed The Room to the extent that I remembered some lines from it. Oh, hi, Mark. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Like, it's so stupid, but it's very quotable. So, heck, I still can't say that I enjoy The Room. Because, in my opinion, if I say I enjoy something, that means I want to continue doing it, or I want to do it again. You know, like, I want to watch Clue again. I enjoy Clue. That is not a terrible movie. And if you think so, we disagree on that. Yeah, I don't know. 29. If people suddenly got paid for bad behavior, what habit would make you a fortune? Eating junk food? That's a bad behavior, right? Speeding. Yeah. Although I don't, not gonna lie, I used to speed a lot, but the most I would do was usually like 10 to 12 over the speed limit. I usually didn't go that much, but now I'm like, okay, I'll go like 5 to 8 over maybe, and then I start to feel like I'm pushing it, and I don't want to do that. But I will say I generally keep my speed to a place where I'm not drastically faster than everybody else. Like, you know, I'm not weaving in and out of traffic to keep at the speed that I'm at. If traffic starts slowing down around me, I will slow down. I'm not going to keep speeding. That's dangerous. No. Like, speeding's already dangerous. When you add into the fact that there are people, you know, around you and they're slowing down, like, no, that's a bad idea. Bad idea. 30. What is your favorite cheesy pickup line? I feel like I've said this before. I've never had any actual pickup lines used on me, but my favorite is, I lost my number. Can I have yours? Like, I love it. It's so cheesy, but I love it. 31. If you suddenly become a giant, what would be the biggest inconvenience? I mean, David's not like an actual giant, but he is over 6 feet tall, and he bumps into things with his head a lot. Like, we have the light in our dining room area, I guess. It hangs pretty low. If our table is moved too much, he will bonk his head into it. There are some doorways that are very short and he has to bend down for. That'd be pretty inconvenient. I'm good. Oh, his car. He likes sporty cars with 2 doors. And he's so tall. He's always uncomfortable. I know. I'm all about 4 doors. So if I got significantly taller, my car would still be more comfortable than David's. Even though he is the giant right now in this relationship. Okay, 32. If you had a shrink ray, what would you use it for? Shrinking trash. Yeah, I would use it in our trash. And I'd probably even use it on the trash in our the dumpster that's out here. Everybody throws our trash in the dumpsters out there. You know, we don't have our individual bins to roll out once a week. So I'd use it on those. It wouldn't make a huge difference in the long run for landfills and whatnot, but it'd be a start. I could start using it on other trash. I could start working for the garbage company and I could just shrink all the garbage. Dude, let's do this, you guys. 33. You have Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. Who do you use it on first? David, obviously, because he's the one that's going to be here. I don't know what I'm going to ask him. Like, he is very straightforward. He doesn't feel the need to, like, lie to make me feel better. So I feel like if he has ever lied to me, it's probably for the greater good, and I don't want to hear the truth. So I wouldn't want to use the lasso of truth on him, actually. I don't know. Like, I think my biggest worry with this would be the person is going to remember I used it on them, right? And they're going to be like, why don't you trust me? You know, like, why did you have to do that? What's wrong with you? And I just know. If it would erase their memory, I'd probably use it on, like, everybody. Just to ask them, like, what do you really think about me? You know, like, rate me on a scale of 0 to 10 as a friend. Not in looks, just as a friend. And then I could see, like, wow, you know, I'm a lot lower than I thought, or I'm about average, I'm where I thought I would be, but this one person thinks I'm a terrible human being. I need to be better. I need to be kinder to them. I need to reconsider how I've been treating them, you know, things like that. But if they keep their memory of it, no. That's just, either way, it's a breach of trust. Like, I feel like if someone's lying to you, it isn't going to solve the root of the problem by knowing what they're lying about. Like, I mean, I guess it could, depending on what the lie is, but I don't know, I feel like there are just more important things, I guess? I don't know. 34. What is the laziest thing you have ever done? Oh my gosh. So, when we were living in Germany, in elementary school, I had a zebra couch, and it could fold into a chair. It was essentially like a little futon that, you know, one little kid could sit on, or one little chair that a little kid could sit on. And when I was laying down on it, when I was watching TV, I would use my toes to change the channel, or turn off the TV, or turn up the volume, to the point that some of the buttons didn't work anymore, and I had to use the remote. My dad still makes fun of me for this. I was in elementary school, you know, I was comfortable, and I wanted to change the channel, and it was more fun to use my toes than to use the controller. I don't know. Yeah, I ruined the buttons on that TV. I'm such a bad person. Oh my gosh. I don't do that anymore. But, you know, TVs don't have buttons anymore. Or at least, not many do. Huh.
And that is the end of For Heavenly Beast Day 49. I got 10 hours and 3 minutes of footage. I finished page 7. Go. I'm at 275 hours and 41 minutes of footage. I finished Terry Pratchett's book, Jingo? Jingo. I started it today, and I finished it today. So, yeah. I had other updates. I got blood drawn over a week ago, and I'm still bruised and looking terrible. My foot from, like, the middle of my shin down, or my leg from the middle of my shin down still feels weird, but everything up from there is feeling normal again, so getting there. Yeah. Do you have anything to add? No. Oh my god, you didn't have numbers. I win. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video. God, I'm so tired. It's 10:14.